lie, make it last forever. Stop in time, yeah, I'll surrender it. Hold tight, chemicals collide. Hold tight, hold tight, hold tight.
Hi guys, welcome back. Hopefully this video is not too delayed because we're finally trying with AirPods, which I don't know how we missed the trick for so long. I know. Everyone was like, you do know, we won't be able to hear the delay. But then sometimes I think AirPods is can be slightly delayed. So if you see any freezing while one of us is talking, it's because it's coming through.
It's like the news. It's like back to you in the studio, Sid.
Literally.
We are here today and we are going to be giving you the long-awaited story time.
Honestly, we probably should have had a little FaceTime session before this and maybe come up with a way we're going to explain this. And we was a bit this is going to be hard over FaceTime because you'll know, we like to talk over each other, talk at the same time, we say the same sentences, but this story could go in the Guinness Book of World Records for the most unluckiest people in the land. By the way, can I just quickly say, if I sound a bit echoey, it's because I'm currently sitting in an empty room, so it is echoey, but what can you do?
Yeah, and if you can hear any building works outside, it's because there are building works outside.
So thanks for that.
But you have to bear with us. But yeah, and also the story time, if we went into every detail, we'd be here all day.
Yeah.
So we're going to try and sum up as much as possible. And we're also going to be finishing our makeup. We have our base on. We're going to do our eyes and everything like that for you on camera because, it's something to do whilst we're chatting. So yeah, let's get into it, I guess. Let's start from the very beginning.
Honestly, please, if you are in the middle of doing something, I'd actually put us on the side, just hear us out, and
or just listen, pretend it's a podcast,
or put on the kettle because we're about to take you on a roller coaster. Okay, so before we get into the nitty-gritty, just want to say that all the products that we are going to be using in this video to finish our eye look and just to finish the rest of our face are from Sample Beauty, which is available at Beauty Bay. And these products are insane. You'll see throughout the video. We'll show you, we'll stop halfway through the story if we can and show you little sneak peeks of the products that we are using, and we have a discount code as well. We'll put all the information on the screen in the description box, but the discount code is Syd and Ell and you get 25% off.
Oh, wow, I've not done eye makeup in so long, but I miss it. I'm using this Eye Erase and Boost base.
Me too! Oh, there's a
eyeshadow base.
Hold on, I don't know if I grabbed the right shade. Let me see.
Yeah.
So these come in different shades. They're really cute. They're like little pots.
I'm just putting this all over. I'm using the shade 2, which is quite light, but the eyeshadow is going to stick. And these eyeshadows from Sample Beauty, I had bought a palette from them, for my makeup kit.
I remember.
Probably 2 years ago.
I literally remember so clear.
Yeah, the pigment is unbelievable. I remember going on to Beauty Bay and ordering it. Right, so whilst we're doing that, let's start.
Right, so this story starts way back in, I want to say late October, early November 2019. Us little girls were just you know what?
It's 21, were we?
Yeah, we were 21 years old, and we've been brought up really similar, and we've been brought up to save literally 80% of our earnings because one of the life goals is to invest in property. So it's just mad coincidence that literally, we've literally been raised the exact same, and that's what we have had instilled in us.
Yeah, literally every time we got paid, and when we first got paid from YouTube,
even my
I was gonna say first jobs, the adults were literally right, you need to put half that away and spend a little bit, but make sure you're saving and opening a bank account and da 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 da. We were okay, and obviously, yeah, we're very grateful for that now, and we'll be handing it over. By the way guys, I am gonna go in like peachy colours, and these are all vegan and cruelty free. I think we started looking as like a little bit of like a hobby. Like we weren't, I don't think we were like, oh yeah, like we're gonna go buy somewhere.
We knew that within the next like 6 months it would be where we start seriously thinking about it. So we thought there's like no time like the present. We hadn't really been on Rightmove or anything, so we was kind of just playing around, and in all honesty we kind of got ahead of ourselves very, very quickly, but it backfired massively in the long run. So I can't remember exactly how it happened, but we stumbled across it must have been on Rightmove, was it?
Yeah, it was on Rightmove, and I remember vaguely, like, I think we spoke to an advisor or even just family, and I think they kind of told us like a budget that we could kind of work towards at that time.
Yeah.
And we always knew we weren't going to move far out, and also just to mention, we always knew we were never going to rent. We always knew we wanted to save and buy, because that is literally just the way into the property ladder. So yeah, we kind of had a budget in our head of like what we could afford, and yeah, we saw these new builds going up quite close to where we live, an area that we're both quite familiar with, and we were like, oh my god, they look like they're going to be insane. They're not built yet, so it gives us a little bit of time. So yeah, we literally just sent an email to the estate agent, and they were like, yeah, come and like talk to us and have a look in the town. And yeah, I think we shared the idea with Nan and Mum, and they were like, oh yeah, like probably won't happen, but yeah, it sounds good.
Literally. Yeah, so I remember having it on my camera roll around November. So like I said, we spoke to estate agents, and as you'll learn through this, we are not a big fan of estate agents. No shade if you are an estate agent, but we have just not, I don't think we've met one nice estate agent, have we?
No, I mean, yeah, no offense if you're a estate agent or you know one, but I think the stereotype is what we've been faced with, which is quite full of themselves and a bit arrogant.
Yeah, and even if you are an estate agent, I'm sure you've been taught in your job that like the aim is to sell, so if it means you've got to tell a few little white lies along the way, I'm sure that's what you're going to end up doing. Anyway, don't appreciate that. So no, they were pretty much like, come down, come see us, and we were just literally like so drawn in. And again, another reason for us telling this story time is like, if you are at the stage we were at, we just kind of want to warn you, like if something does seem too good to be true, 9 times out of 10 it probably is.
Yeah,
anyway,
definitely.
So we went to their offices, and we soon found out that like literally they hadn't even, I don't think they'd even turned it into a building site yet. Like it was literally just drawings. So we were looking solve plan, which was again really silly. I mean, it can work for some people, but as long as you're willing to wait a very, very, very long time, just remember, they want to sell things to you, and the only way they can pull you in is by making it look very glamorous. And we saw these brochures, like they had put so much of their money into their marketing, and we fell for it.
We actually went to look at the site with Nan. We saw the floor plans. There was 2 apartments left, exactly the same, and yeah, we literally were just in this bubble. We reserved them that day. We put down a deposit. Obviously it wasn't a massive deposit, but it was still like a fair bit of money to reserve a plot. And yeah, you've probably heard us speak about us having the exact same flat, just on a different floor. So that they were the flats, and we literally at that point were like, well, we love them, we don't want them to go, because a few had sold, or as they said, they had sold. And yeah, we just ran with it. And I think Nan was obviously a bit like, oh girls, but we were like, no, that's like, we want to make our own decision.
And at the time, in the grand scheme of things, like I think we won't talk too much about money, but it was like putting down about £500, which is a fair bit of money, but it's not gonna like set us back too far if something did happen in the long run. So that's why I think my Nan didn't stop us there and then. She was kind of looking at us like, I don't think she wanted to like embarrass us and make us seem like kids, because she just looked at us across the office and was a bit like, are you sure? And we were just like, we're sure.
Yeah.
And that's again maybe when you should maybe just walk away and think about the situation first.
Think about it, yeah. And if you like, I think we both thought that like we were gonna walk out, someone else was gonna walk in and they would sell.
Yeah.
Like it does, obviously it can happen that quick, but it will, like, let's just give a bit of context. The flats are still for sale, so they weren't being snatched up that quickly. Obviously the estate agent is always going to paint the picture that someone's going to walk in and take it, so you need to be quick.
Yeah, that's their job.
They're probably lying. And also with the time frames, we were told that they were going to be ready in July of 2020. Obviously COVID happened, but in like before all this, Nan was like, it won't be July. Whenever you get told a date, add on 6 months and it might be then.
Honestly, but first of all I just want to say this palette is called the Jewel Tones palette, and I'm using the shade Axonite. It's the brownie shade here, and it's the nicest like orangey brown matte shade. Like part of me just wants to, I was gonna say jump ahead to the summer and just use this as like a matte look in the sun, but never mind.
Wow.
Let's not be depressing like that. But these are really nice, and I'm literally being drawn to this Days of Fire. I'm probably saying these wrong, so I'll put them on the screen, but D-I-A-S-P-H, Days of Four. But it's like a greeny, let me swatch it for you. Oh, stop that right now, look at that. It's like a greeny silver. Okay.
Lovely. And I'm using the Equalizer palette volume 2.
Okay, so yeah, we went to view the apartments a couple times because we were allowed to go on the building site with hard hats on. Maybe we'll attach some pics because we did actually get obviously really excited. We were kind of walking around, we could envision like how things were going to be. There was a stage where we got so excited, we had our floor plans. We went to a local car park with tape, and
I found that picture last night.
And we took, well, if Els found the picture, you can say it, but we actually taped out the floor, and I remember so clear. And Els, as you probably will know, Els a lot more, she likes to think about things. I say it as it is, and I was a bit like, Elle, I feel like these are too small. Why do, and she was like, she was like, Sid, it's tape, we're taping the floor, like, it's not gonna be, and I was like, I just had, maybe from there I should have realised that I was getting gut feelings, and I was like, Elle, do you think we're like rushing into this? Like, I'm not convinced. And she was like, Sid, we have taped a car park floor. You cannot base like whether you want this apartment off the local car park we're in.
No. Which is true, but yeah, I think you did just have a gut feeling.
Yeah. And
but yeah, that was funny. And I recommend that, to be fair. I think that was still a really good idea.
And also, if you don't know us, well, I don't know if many people know this. Growing up, everyone knows that my nan has the weirdest, like, witch instincts. Like, if my nan says something's not going to happen 3 years before, 9 times out of 10, 3 years later, it's not going to happen. Like, she, honestly, do you remember? It was literally like March, April last year, and she went, I don't think them flats are going to be ready till Christmas. And I'll cut ahead really slightly. The flats will finish at Christmas, by the way. So my nan gets the weirdest
we can move on from those flats soon.
So we kept going to see them, and we kept getting told the same thing. We're aiming for the summer, but COVID might push it back slightly. And my nan was like, to be honest, it happens. Like, places do end up running over slightly. Like, don't get disheartened. You've got you've got fun things planned in the summer. Just see it as it's not meant to be right now because we've got other stuff coming up.
So we were in Portugal. We got an email. Well, we're not going to name and shame estate agents, but their customer service was awful. We would be chasing every week for an update, like literally around the time that we were supposed to be moving. We'd be like, hello, like, any updates? So yeah, we were chasing, and finally they emailed us saying, like, well, they sent us a video of the apartment, which again took too long to get, because it was like all like being built now. And we looked at it, and without sounding like, I know this is going to sound very spoiled, but were, you know, advertised as very luxurious apartments, and they kind of said like, this is this is what they're going to look like, and the video was nothing like how they were going to look like. It was very opposite. So that was one thing, but you know, we looked past it. We were like, okay, still at least it's got a kitchen.
No, you,
then,
at this point, I remember even you were like, we saw pictures and I was like, Elle, I hate it. Is it too late to pull out? And you went, we cannot pull out. We are like 9 months deep.
I know.
And you, she was literally like, because at this point we thought we only liked new builds, which we were being a bit like, we weren't being very open-minded, to be honest. And Elle was like, Syd, do you really want to start fresh? And I was like, no, but I also don't want to just settle. But it was like, and I think deep down Elle knew, but she's more scared of, she hates change, so starting again, I think was really daunting for you, wasn't it?
Yeah, 100%. It was just like that whole process, like what if it happened again? But yeah, so they sent over that picture, and then the same week whilst we were in Portugal, they said, hi girls, obviously you're not moving this month, because we went in like July time. We think it's going to be pushed back to October. So there were 3 blocks. We were the last ones, and the first one was due to be in September, and then yeah, somehow we were supposed to be October, even though there was another one in between. So we were gutted. I mean, if it was actually got October and it all went through, it wouldn't have been that bad. But yeah, I think by that point we'd seen the video, it'd already been pushed back. Like, it was just one thing after another.
I think the one thing was that we got a video in July. We asked for a video like late September and nothing had changed. And we just, we knew the area, so we'd drive through it all the time just to like see where they're at, because you could kind of see, even though you couldn't see inside, you could, you know, you look stupid, you can gauge what's going on, and nothing was changing. And we was hearing rumours. I've got family that live in the area, and like they were just like, how's, like, it's not ready yet, is it? And I was like, I knew everyone was kind of like feeling sorry for us at this point. We stuck with it. I don't know why, but we were just like, let's just get with it, like we're so deep in. Look at that. Do you remember I done it on holiday like this?
Oh yeah, nice.
Yeah.
I'm going back in with the babes to kind of like do a soft cut crease, by the way. Very random, but we move. Yeah, so we stuck with it, and I literally remember I went to Westfield with my mum and sister. I was sat in Wagamama.
I remember this.
And the solicitor phoned me, and she was like, hi. To be fair, the developer, sorry. The developer, they were actually really nice. I think they obviously felt very bad, but I mean, sort yourselves out. They rang and was like, hey, obviously trying to keep us very sweet because they don't want us to pull out. Your flats aren't going to be ready till Christmas. So this was a massive turning point for us. We were like, right, it keeps getting pushed back, nothing's happening. It's not going to be done at Christmas because nothing gets done at Christmas. This was when we were in talks with a new mortgage advisor who actually sorted our apartments now and could not recommend him enough. He was amazing. We'll leave all the details down below of people that we recommend. But yeah, his name was Dan, and he said that there was a big fat red flag that came up with those flats.
Yeah.
We still don't really know why, but he said you can get a mortgage, but they might be hard to sell. So all these signs were popping up, and this is when we decided to leave these flats behind.
Yeah. Sorry guys, I'm just getting to the stage where I'm going to do some lashes, so I'm going to put on a little bit of mascara. I've got a few sample lashes here, and I'm just deciding what ones I want to go for. So these are handmade vegan silk lashes, and they've all obviously got different names. I've got a Lash Out, Fabulous, Fluttery, and I think I'm going to go with, why do I keep picking stuff I can't say? FOMO, but it's spelled like F-A-U-X, Mo. But I've got the smallest eyes in the land, so I'm going to cut them down slightly. And yeah, I'm going to put a little bit of mascara first. But yeah, following off what Elle said, so this, basically, we have jumped ahead quite a lot, but in this whole year, so the whole of 2020, obviously, it was a bit of a crappy year because of COVID anyway, but we was always like getting our hopes up, and then like being brought back down to earth and being like, why does this feel so wrong? And then obviously when we got in contact with Dan, the mortgage broker, he was just a bit like, he was the only one that the whole time was being really like brutal with us, brutally honest. And
which is what we wanted.
Yeah, and he was just like, we were like, would you do it? And he was like, I don't think so. And that was a big,
he said if it was his little sis, he was like, if you were my little sisters, I'd say
avoid.
No.
Yeah, basically the developers were based in Ireland, and so they'd ring us, but like it was really hard to get in contact with them, basically, because I don't know, we had to basically always arrange calls. But then we started getting these gifts, and we were like, I was like, Elle, did you just get a box of Lush bath bombs? And like, Elle, did you just get a bottle of champagne? Because they were apologising, because I think they sensed that we'd like backed off kind of thing, and that we just were not really feeling it. So they were trying it, they were being sneaky, and they were just like, please don't leave kind of thing.
They didn't want us to pull out.
Because obviously, in the grand scheme of things, them losing our 2 sales is a lot of money. So we thought, who do we owe it to more? So we thought we'd ring the developer, like the manager. She was okay. We were just a bit like, listen, it's gone too far now, we're not feeling this. And she tried to like talk us around and was like, listen, we know like we've messed up kind of thing, but like you're so close to the end. This was like beginning of November, wasn't it? End of October?
Yeah.
So she was literally like,
October.
She was like, you've got like 8 weeks and they're ready, and we were like, it's not good enough. Like,
we were just like, we're so over
we were just like, we're not excited anymore. We've ended up like disliking the area, because like we attached the disappointment with it, which sounds so dramatic. Unless you've been through buying property, you might be like, oh my god, how dramatic are you being right now? But
yeah.
So then we arranged to go to the estate agent, and when I tell you, it was such a mix of emotions. Like, we went in and they all kind of were, the manager was basically like sitting with his legs crossed.
We're still convinced that the way we got treated is because we are 2 young girls. I still think women get treated differently to how men do, and it's so wrong. But obviously we had the mix of being girls and being young, so they literally made us feel this big.
Sorry if I cut off for a bit there, I don't know when it stopped. Yeah, so when we went in there, we'd arranged to meet with this young guy, and he was so out of his depth, you could tell. Like, I can tell deep down, he was nice, but he was being just overpowered by his horrid manager. And yeah, we kind of said, can we come in? He was like, yeah. And he was like, what is like the reasoning? And we were like, oh, we just want to pop by and like update you on a few things. So I don't think they was expecting it. And
no, and we didn't want to tell them over the phone. We wanted to go in and be like, this.
Yeah,
this
so
is what's happening.
We literally walked in, sat down, and no joke, it was like we was on stage, wasn't it?
Yeah, they were all facing us, but like all the other side of the estate. Oh yeah.
Yeah. So imagine an estate agent. Well, I'm sure you've all seen an estate agency. Imagine how they all sit at their desk. We went in, and because of COVID, they kind of like got seats for us like at the front on our own, and they all just sat there and like logged off and like just all kind of dropped all their stuff and went, go on then.
We literally just said like, this has been ridiculous. We've not been happy with the customer service one bit. Like I just said, we've been made to feel so small, even though we're literally, you know, gonna give you a big commission. We've not been treated well, blah blah blah, went on and on and on, and they were just kind of like, right, get to the point. So I said, yeah, we want to pull out, and their faces were like,
the manager's first words were, you do know you've put a lot of money into this. Basically, we'd paid some money to make changes in. So basically, if you buy a new build, it's obviously different for everywhere, but you can make changes if they're being built, but it would obviously cost money. So like I changed my flooring. What else did we change?
The bathroom.
We were going to change some of the kitchen. We were going to change like the backsplash of the wall. So we were putting quite a bit of money into it, but we done that quite early on, which again is silly. I wouldn't recommend.
All of his responses were like, you put money into it, you're so close. Like just no kind of sympathy, no, oh, what can we do to help? Just really like judgy, just really like, well, why would you do that? And we just kept saying, well, this is how horrible it's been. Like, yeah, we're willing to lose money because we do not want to buy from you. And yeah, they just basically didn't know what to say. We had to take it upon ourselves to basically get up and walk out because it was becoming so awkward. And yeah, I
think they realised in the end that they were kind of a bit like, you do know you're losing, but they knew they were losing more than we were.
Yeah.
Estate agents get a commission, obviously, and they were getting a commission for 2 of us. But then we'll jump back to like how we got the flats we have now. But cut to after Christmas, we got an email saying, happy Christmas girls, just to let you know your flats are finished if you did want to repurchase them. Yeah. And we were like, no thank you.
Yeah, they never got sold. The eyelashes I use, by the way, are the Are You Faux Real? They are handmade vegan silk eyelashes, and oh my god, I've not put eyelashes on in so long, but they look kind of cute. And yeah, I'm pretty much finished, I think.
Eyelashes are on 2. That is pretty much our eye look done, using all sample beauty products. Like we said, we'll put our discount code on the screen and down below if you want to go shop them, but we highly recommend.
Yeah,
like Elle said, there's products that she's been using since like the makeup artist days.
Yeah, and when we go back out, I can't wait to do this kind of makeup.
But we're just gonna like be touching up the rest of our face whilst we finish the rest of the story.
Yeah.
So we pulled out in like October, and I think we kind of just, I remember we sat in my kitchen and I had my iPad, Jojo laptop, and we went, I guess we better start fresh.
Yeah. We were just like, right, I guess we go on to Rightmove now. And we knew we didn't want to be living too far away, but we were just so over that town and there was nothing there. So we had to branch out a little bit further. Not further, but a different direction, somewhere that we didn't really...
We were more open now to anywhere.
Yeah. And
we were looking everywhere,
yeah,
weren't we?
And it didn't have to be a new build, as long as it was like, didn't need loads of work. And obviously there were 2 for sale, then we were open to it. So yeah, we stumbled across where we're living now. Well, soon.
We found how was it? No, we found 2.
We found 2.
So basically, the building we have now is about 3 years old.
Yeah.
2.5, 3 years old. So basically that means people live there. Like, you couldn't just buy one off plan because they're all have owners.
Yeah.
So it was kind of a good time to find it, because in the grand scheme of things, it is kind of known that when you get your first property, people normally have it for like 2-3 years.
Yeah.
That's like the basis of youngsters our age kind of thing. So we were like, oh, this could be good. We found one and we loved the pictures, didn't we?
Yeah.
And then I was like, ring, we'll book, we'll go. We need to just see if we like the vibe, because we knew there was a lot of apartments there. So we found a flat, we wanted to go look at it. So we're just trying to summarise this because we realised it's actually a very long story. Yeah. And you're probably bored now.
We might have to do that a separate Q&A or something.
We rung up and the lady was like, oh, that property's just sold today. And we were like, oh, okay, cool. But we were like, oh, that hadn't been online long, so they must be nice. And then we literally stumbled across one more.
Yeah.
And then we rung up and we got a viewing, didn't we?
Yeah.
And then we were a bit like, oh, we're only going to see one. But then one more must have come up.
Another
one. 2 in one day, didn't we?
I think we emailed around like all the local estate agents, and they basically were like, oh, like there's quite a few for sale, because obviously people had been living there a couple of years. So yeah, we managed to view 2, which we both really liked, and basically mine fell through very fast. My estate agent was I can't swear on here, but he was painful. He was so rude. Another very rude estate agent. He basically, I put an offer in and he sold it to someone else without telling me, so that was really good. And then yeah, I was obviously upset, still looking, because quite a few were popping up. And then Syd's was a little bit further along, but then hers fell through.
Yeah, so at this time I had one, Elle's fell through, but I was so confident. I said to her every day, I was like, you're gonna get one.
Yeah.
I just feel it in my bones.
Yeah.
So we were trying to kill time, so she was still viewing in the area, but just not in this actual like complex kind of thing.
Yeah.
So we kept coming back to it, and Elle was like, I said I can't just settle, and I was like, listen, keep busy because one will come up. And then we have pictures. One day I was like, Elle, this was before mine fell through. You wait. I was like, Elle, we're gonna write letters to everyone in the like area. Like basically, there's like the way it is. It's like a little kind of like complex estate. It's really cute.
Yeah.
And she was a bit like, what do you mean? And I was like, we're gonna write letters and we're gonna basically say, if you're thinking of selling, I'll do a private sale with you. You'll save estate agency fees. I'm super keen. I'm not a time waster.
I'm a first time buyer.
Here.
Yeah, and then we sprayed them with perfume. And
we literally sat in the car. The vibes were so good. The music was playing. Elle was like actually like quite happy. She'd gone from being a bit like I don't have a flat to being happy.
Yeah.
Posted them through. Didn't really hear anything for a bit until we went shopping one day. I got a phone call in Yo Sushi, and basically I was supposed to be ringing to ask a question, and I was like, oh, blah blah blah, and he went, oh, the sellers have decided they're not sure if they want to sell now. So I literally, before I come off the phone, I burst into tears, and I was like, oh my god. Did you already have another one at this point?
I think so, because I think you were like, yours is looking fine. So basically, going back a step, literally within a couple days, my seller, I'm sure she won't mind me saying, she's such a lovely girl, Georgia, she texted me, and because I left my number on the note and was like,
I remember so clearly.
So do I.
I've got a clip.
I've got a clip too, because I thought we might include it somewhere.
When you came round.
Yeah.
Yeah, when you were like, I need to come round, and you were like, Syd, I need to tell you something, and I was like, tell me what?
Yeah.
And you were like, sit down, and I was like,
yeah.
Why?
Yeah, so she literally texted me. She was so nice and helpful, and she just said, I got your note, I'm thinking of selling. I've found like, no, I don't think she had a house at that point, but she was like, I'm thinking of getting a house, and this is a video of my flat. Like, she just sent one straight away.
She literally sent it.
And I was like,
and Elle was like, I'm going to see you in 2 days.
I was like,
you literally went that weekend, didn't you?
I was like, can I come round? So I went to look, I put in an offer, and she accepted. Basically, it was so easy. And then Syd's fell through. So she was more like,
yeah,
oh my god, you've got one.
Yeah, and it was more like, right, we found 3 in this block. I feel like I had a funny feeling I was going to struggle to find another one.
Yeah.
So I was a bit like, but we made a pact, and we were like, we know we love it here. It's just such a pretty area. We look over the river, and I said, I wouldn't want you to pull out just because I can't find one. I will find one, whether I live with you for a bit.
We both believe in manifesting, and you might think it's a bit far-fetched, but we were literally like, well, we're both going to live there. Like, when
how confident was I the first time when you felt where yours was? I was like, everyone's upset. I'm really not upset, because my nan was like, why are you not a bit worried? I was like, because she's gonna get one. I know she's gonna get one.
I was the same. I was like, I just know it. And if you look on Rightmove, and you obviously, we're not going to tell you where it is, but you can see there's so many that are being sold like all the time, and we just knew one would come up. And it's really weird as well, because there's so many that don't look over the river and don't have a balcony, but there's only a few that do, and all the ones that do were coming up. So we were like, oh my god, it's literally like fair.
Back to when I had one and Elle didn't. We met with quite a lot of estate agents. We met with a lovely girl estate agent, and we kind of said, like, if anything comes up, please let us know, please let us have first dibs. And she texted Elle and was like, there potentially might be one coming up, and Elle was like, I've actually got one, but Syd hasn't.
Yeah.
So she was like, I can't tell you too much, because it's literally been a case of they've contacted us as an estate agency and said, we want to sell. I wasn't getting much information at this point. I wasn't talking to her much, I was talking to her manager, and again, she was lovely, so lovely. Probably one of the nicest estate agents we've come across.
Yeah.
And the guy felt like I was already getting led on again, so I was just like, I can't go through this again. and Elle was having such ease with Georgia because she was being so helpful, and I was like, I wish I had that relationship with the seller. So basically we went to view Elle's flat one day, and I met Georgia and we were chatting, and Georgia was like, I know everyone in this block, like everyone's so lovely. She was like, I'll ask around if anyone's selling. And I was like, I've heard a rumour that number blah 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 is thinking of selling. And she was like, leave them a note. And we were like, I was like, I can't.
Yeah. She was like, why not? Just do it.
She was like, why? Ellie done it for me and look where she is now. So I literally was like, Syd, swallow your pride. You've made Elle do it. You can do it.
Yeah.
So we literally wrote a note there and then.
Yeah.
George was like, I'll get you a pen.
Yeah.
So we sat on the table, wrote a note, and I was literally like, basically, I've heard along the grapevine, this is going to sound stalker, that you're thinking of moving. I had a flat here. My best friend's going to be living in the block. Please, 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 can you just give me a ring even if you're gonna let me down lightly?
Yeah.
If you want to say like, leave us alone, don't ever contact me again, kind of thing.
Yeah.
Time goes on, time goes on, time goes on. I think like 3 or 4 days.
Yeah.
And I was like, heard nothing, and I knew it was going directly to them. It was like dressed to like, dear number, blah blah blah. So they knew I knew they were getting it and they'd see it. And then I was literally at home and I got a text and I just screamed, and they were like, thank you so much for your note. Can we have a phone call later?
Yeah.
And basically they were like, we were gonna put our apartment up for sale, but we've kind of been delaying, and like the estate agents weren't being too helpful anyway, so we'd rather have a private sale.
Yeah.
And cut to, I've signed the papers and I'm getting the keys soon. So
honestly, I think one thing that comes from this is trust your gut and go to every length. If you want to live somewhere, send someone a note. My sister's done it, and I mean, it doesn't always work, so don't expect it to, but
yeah,
do all you can, because people will respect it. And if like I say, if you really want to live somewhere and you're serious, I wouldn't mind if someone put a note through my door. Obviously they can say no, but
my nan said we've had notes for our door saying, if you ever sell, contact us. And she's like, sometimes she just looks and she's like, oh cute, like I'm not actually gonna sell, but
yeah,
it happens all the time, so much more than you think. And just think, it's a letter. You're not sending someone a video like begging.
No.
If they ignore it, they ignore it, and no, it's not meant to be.
Yeah.
But honestly, I knew in my heart we would both get a flat in this area, and I knew, and I remember Elle's mum and dad were like, one of you's gonna end up left in tears, and I looked at them and I went, I honestly don't think we will.
I mean, we did along the way, but
yeah,
we made it and we finally did it. So that is literally a summary of our whole moving story time. We can maybe do a Q&A, like we didn't even get into the questions, but I think we can do a whole Q&A on like maybe how we saved, some tips, and obviously like the whole process, because that is skipping a lot of steps with like solicitors and things like that. But yeah, that's pretty much the basis of moving. It's not easy.
I'm hoping, I feel like now we jumped to the end, we've probably dragged out the first bit a bit too much, so I'm hoping Elle can maybe chop that up a bit and make it a bit more to the point. But yeah, that is it in a nutshell. We've not had much luck, but I feel like our stars aligned in the end.
Yeah.
And we are gonna be where we're meant to be, and we're gonna be neighbours.
Neighbours! And also, if you're thinking of moving in a couple of years, just start looking. Please,
look
just
now.
start
We tell
looking.
Molly that every day, don't we?
Yeah. Even if it's just to have a viewing, you're losing nothing. So, yeah.
Honestly.
Thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and yeah, look forward to the home content. Woo!
Woo! Thank you for watching, and thank you to Sample Beauty and Beauty Bay. Don't forget to check out all their products and use our discount code. Happy shopping. We love you guys, and we'll see you in our next video.
Goodbye.
Bye.